Hi, I'd like to ask my friend from the CLIA here. Consumers in China are buying more and more leather products, we understand, and some people think that is what's driving the price of leather higher. Do you agree or know about that or comment on that?
我感到呢是这样的啊，let me say in Chinese，这个呢不全都是因为中国的这个买家的问题，因为呢整个全球的肉制品的消费量正在减少，所以这也导致了原皮价格的上升。
So what he said is the original price is increasing right now because of the buyer.
This is mostly because of the meat consumption decreased.
So, well, what I'm getting at is, we hear, why is the price going up? And everybody says China, China, China. And they say it's Chinese people, consumers, that are doing it, driving the market.
But the high prices also bring a very, the high burden to Chinese tanneries. So they have to pay a lot of money to buy the raw materials. And this gave the Chinese tanneries bring more difficulties for operation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here.
No, do you hear me? Yeah. Jean-Pierre from IDC magazine in Paris. 1 month ago, Bernard Arnault, when he presented the result of LVMH, was going up the result of 27% in 1 year. He explained that to be in the luxury business, we must be exclusive. And he explained that if we want to increase very quickly, we can make textile product or things like that. We have decided not to do. We have decided, explained Bernard Arnault, to make in the leather business. Because with the leather business, we make luxury products. We believe, explained Bernard Arnault, that leather is luxury. And he explained that to increase the business, he has to make only in leather, or more and more part of the product that he's selling are in leather. Because this is the future. Is less and less leather in the world, he explained. And so more and more people are asking to have luxury products. So the future is to do in this way. That I'm not sure that it's because of China that the prices are going up. I'm sure that the prices are going up because the demand of the luxury product, everyone today wants to buy luxury products. Everyone all around the world, Chinese, but also American, Brazilian, everywhere. And for this way, that's the people have to increase the production of leather luxury products. This is the future.
I think that's very true. Who would know better than Mr. Arnault what luxury is? And thank you. Let me ask Robert a question. You hear complaints by tanneries about the deterioration of grain. We can't get the quality, the percentage of full grain we used to get out of American cattle hides. Do you have any thoughts on that?
You know, in the past I've seen it as well. The drought has been really, really severe, much severer than expected. And those bottom end cattle are coming through, and they just got to push them through the system. Yes, I've seen the grades drop, and I've seen it drop in other periods where droughts have come on. Maybe if we get through the drought, the hides will have, the animals will have easier areas to graze and feed, and won't be digging into areas where they normally wouldn't go. But I have seen grades drop in dry times.
It's just strictly the drought, period.
That's what it looks like to me.
Okay. Martin.
Testing.
Martin Rucco, Leather International. I've got a couple of questions for Reg, actually, about Leather Naturally. Just wanted a clarification, really, on who can be a member of Leather Naturally and who can't. I mean, I'm assuming that there are some companies out there that you wouldn't necessarily want associated with promoting leather if they're sort of poor quality. That's part one. And the second part is following on from what Jean-Pierre just talking about. At the moment, The leather industry seems to be doing quite well. The luxury business is booming. Raw material prices is an indication that consumer demand is high. So what can leather naturally do that's not being done already?
I think if I take it in those two parts, as far as I'm concerned, anybody can be a member. Simple as that. Come along, let's have the money, let's go for it. There is a lot of debate around, oh, well, you know, you've got to be very, very careful because there's some bad people who would want to join. And if we've got tanneries around the world or suppliers around the world or meat supply that are breaking the laws in their country or doing things wrong, they need sorting out. That's not really Leather Natural's job. 99% of the trade isn't like that, and they're the people we're pitching to. So let's not get too hung up about trying to be choosing this or choosing that. Let's just get on with it. Let's get the campaign going. On the other side, you know, yes, without doubt the luxury sector is booming. If you read Coach, if you read, you know, your esteemed colleagues in LVMH, Hermes have just also published really well. But then if you read Mulberry in the UK last week, who issued profits warning saying, look, we're just seeing the signs of some price resistance out there and demand is just beginning to turn, we also have to be aware that, you know, is the world in recession at the minute or isn't it? Is Europe sorted out or not? At the premium end, at the moment, demand is still strong, and that's what's pulling the price. And at the end of the day, this inelasticity between supply, where you've got shortage, and strong demand is what's causing the price to go up. If you look forward 5 years, and we did debate this last year, us two, around this forum, you'd have to say that the price of leather's got to go up. Because at the end of the day, there is a growing aspirational population globally that want luxury products, and at the end of the day, leather is associated with luxury, so the pull side of it is going to be stronger than the supply side. In that environment, we in between have got to get our prices up. As individual companies to do that, sat with our customers, sat with our brands, it's really, really, really difficult. And, you know, boss of LVMH we used to be a very big supplier to. He's not very good at saying, it's okay, we'll give you more money when it comes to the buying side. You know, he's good at the selling side, but he still wants to buy it cheaper from whoever will supply. And as individual companies, we'll get picked off in that environment. What we need to do is work together collaboratively to get the whole image of leather raised, to get the whole price point raised, so that whichever sector we're in, we can actually get more money for the whole supply chain. That's really what Leather Naturally and the campaign.
Let me ask you and Robert 2 questions. You speak to people who make the end product, your customers, okay? Do they say that a certain price point, where is the price point of the finished leather product where consumers won't buy in the same quantity? When it's on the shelf for X++.
The concern, just sort of, if you look at some of the comments on Mulberry's statements last week, Mulberry did a fantastic job in the UK. A lot of their bags now are more than £1,000, and there appears to be resistance at £1,000 a bag. Some of them are up at 4,000 for special stuff. They used to be below 1,000, now they've just gone above it. And they're still doing well, but it appears that there is a price resistance at a particular price. How much leather's in a £1,000 bag? Not very much, is the truth.
And Robert, what are your automotive people? Do they say there's a limit what they will pay in order to switch out of leather? Or can they?
Yes, they do. They're constantly aware of the increasing prices, but they're also aware of the supply. And I think they have to continue to work on their systems through the business to justify these increases, because there's nowhere to go. The high prices are high, the supply is short, and there's been many of our customers we've had to turn away because we have to meet our commitments. And but I think there's a lot of work needed on to understand that this raw material is short, and there's certain industries are going to miss out on the product, and there needs more marketing, if you would, or awareness from the tanner to the brands that this is a real problem for your industry. And if we don't change it, you know, we're going to be talking the same song for quite a few years. You know, the cattle guys are controlling the price of hides, and you know the brands don't pay. But we've got to come somewhere. The price is not going down. The demand is there. The demand is growing every year.
So are these prices the new normal in your opinion, gentlemen? And we're going higher considerably?
Bear in mind, this is the first day of the fair, and this young man here is trying to sell a few hides. So,
not really. It's the first fair where we haven't sold the hides, and we are really in good shape with program business. And I think a lot of people at the fair today are going to go to this fair and think there's a lot of material, there's a lot of hides going to be available to buy, and the price is going to go down. I don't see that. I've been in Europe, I've been into Europe, we've had our people into India and Asia, and it's the same all over. The product is not available to fulfill the commitment. So, you know, that's the issue. How we communicate it and how we work together, maybe that's what can be solved at this fair.
Don, if I can
Thank
just...
you very much.
Don? Hello, on the left. I just want to add to Martin's comment there, and also to thank Reg for a truly inspirational and really good speech on leather naturally. We are all stakeholders in leather naturally. Everybody sitting in this room here is a stakeholder in leather naturally. And going from right at the beginning, from the farm actually to the retail shop, is a stakeholder in leather naturally. And all of the companies involved in between, from tanneries to machinery to chemicals to designers to the whole chain, is part of leather naturally, because that's the only way we're going to be able to get these price increases and the understanding of the product, of what it is and what it means to us all sitting here. So please do, as Reg said, buy in, because it's your business, it's your life that's involved in it. That's part of the stakeholding we're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question? Yes.
Yeah, it's Stephen Tierney from World Leather. If I may, I would like to ask Mr. Su. You said tanneries in China that cannot scale up to reach those minimum production levels. I think you said 50,000 per year from raw, 30,000 per year from wet blue. The clear trend is that if they cannot invest, if they cannot invest in the clean production that you talked about, the future for them is going to be that they will have to close. I wanted to ask, if I may, can you tell us how many tanneries do you expect to close?
Oh yeah, as I mentioned in my speech, the Chinese government set very strict requirements for the tanneries, and according to the information we have in our office, in Wenzhou area, the Wenzhou in Zhejiang province, it is very important shoe capital in China and very important the tanning area. Last year, about 120 small-sized tanneries are closed, but some production capacity already moved to the new, to the medium-sized tanneries. So the total production volume has not yet reduced. So this is the Wenzhou situation. And in Haining, one of another very important tanning cluster, right now there are about 8 tanneries in operation. The operation is quite well. And for the small sized, I don't have the detailed figure how many small sized tanneries closed, but the situation in Haining is now the 8 tanneries which are in operation quite well. It's now, 10 tanneries is now in process in operation. But for the overall Chinese China's market, Chinese industry, how many small-sized tanneries closed down. I don't have the detailed figure, but about no more than 300. Within 300 small-sized tanneries closed down last year.
Are we done? Okay. Richard?
Richard Smith from Fashionet Asia. I have a question for Robert Hine. Towards the end of your presentation, you indicated that it could take to 2017 for the herd rebuilding to take place. The same situation is happening in Argentina. How long will it take, an estimate in your opinion, for herd rebuilding to actually impact prices on the downside, taking into account, of course, the demand is still high?
Well, that's it depends how quick the herds really build and what the conditions are in 17. But if they can build them quickly and cattle can be bought at the right price, of course the packers will continue to slaughter. But we said 2 years ago that 13, 14 they'd be rebuilding. Now, we've gone from 14 to 15 and now we think 16. So this drought has really, really impacted the United States cattle business, and pulling the corn out. They haven't had good snows. It's a lot of things. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that we can get some good luck and get the numbers up going quicker. But it's a difficult question to put exact dates and times on when all these things that we don't know what are really going to happen.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Richard, what now? There are no more questions. I guess we're done with this part of the program, right?
Thank you very much.